Welcome back, troops. Let's tab 59. Hope everybody's well. So, out for a little tab today, and a little subject I want to talk about, linked with basic training. Obviously, I'm an old git back in my day of basic training, and how it come about. Well, me and Mike, and you may have seen him in some of my previous videos. Mike was a Welsh lad, veteran, Royal Regiment of Wales, and we did a couple of videos together, and I interviewed him as a veteran. Now, we never served together, but and he joined in the 90s, early 90s, contact went out. There's gas guns and shotguns going off everywhere today. And he served in the 90s in basic training, early 90s, and I served in 76. My basic training started in 76. So slightly different eras and obviously different regiments, but we got chatting. We pulled up a sandbag, swinging the lantern like you do, chewing the fat, taking the mickey, a bit of banter together, and we got onto the subject of basic training, and then we realised that we were talking similar sort of lines of what happened during basic training. And one of the things that I had to do, and he agreed he had to do that as well in basic training. So I don't know if it still happens in nowadays basic training in the British Army, and whether any of you veterans out there remember you having to go through the same process, was with a thing called passing off the square. And it was about week 6, I believe. And basically what it was when you go into when we went into basic training, you weren't allowed off camp for the first 6 weeks. So first 6 weeks we had no civilian clothes, apart from maybe some PT kit. We didn't have our civilian clothes. It was taken from us and stored. So you couldn't get off camp. And obviously, certainly in the 70s, nobody went out in military clothing. I mean, it's the height of the Operation Banner in Northern Ireland, and there was a high level of threat to soldiers in the UK, service personnel in the UK. So no going out in uniform at all. So our kit was taken off us, and then at week 6, what you had to do was this passing off the square detail. Now, what was that about? Well, basically, you went out onto the parade square in your troop or your platoon formation, whatever, fell in on the parade square. On the other side of the parade square was like a saluting dais, a podium. And on there was an officer, probably a troop commander, maybe the battery commander, company commander, whichever unit he was in. One of your commanding officers or OCs was out there. And with him was probably the sergeant major as well. And what you had to do is, one at a time, you had to bring yourself to attention, march off singly across the parade square towards the saluting dais, no words of command, no one calling out the timing. You had to prove that you could do this drill on your own, so to speak, prove that you'd learnt some drill in that first 6 weeks, and halt in front of the podium, bang a good kipper up like that, give your name, rank and number in good clear voice, and maybe the officer asked you 1 or 2 fairly simple questions, and that could be things like I don't know, regimental history, the Latin meaning off your cap badge, or something along those lines. But he would ask you a couple of simple questions which you would hopefully answer. Then you asked for permission to march off. He would give you permission. You take 1 pace back, bang another kipper up like that, about turn, and start marching back towards your squad formation. Without any words of command. But on the way back towards your squad, you then had to, again under your own steam, before you got there, bang up a salute to the right and bring it down and carry on marching, and then bang up a salute to the left, just to prove that you could do all those little simple drill movements to a good degree. And then if you passed that passing off the square, that then gave you a pass, if you like, to be able to get your civilian clothes back, and you was allowed off camp at certain times. And I think we did this on a Friday, and then we was allowed out that weekend. On the Saturday we could go out, and maybe there was a curfew set for the Saturday evening to get back by 2300 or whatever, Saturday night. So anyway, Icky boy, comes to my turn. And I was fairly good at drill, I thought. I quite liked it. I didn't mind drill. Wasn't very good, but I didn't mind it. And off I marched across the square, halt, bang one up, name, rank, number, ask me a couple of questions, answer them no problem. Permission to march, officer, yeah, off you trot. Quick pace backwards, banged another kipper up, about turn, off I goes across the square, and this is where it goes wrong. So in my head I'm marching along, giving it all that detail. In my head I'm saying the words of command, saluting to the right, salute, and I banged a cracking one up like that. Look at that badger. Bang, cracking right salute, salute to the right. Brought that down, carried on marching. Distance is now closing towards our squad. In my head, saluting to the left, salute. And guess what I done? I used my left hand. I banged up a salute to the left with my left hand. What's that all about? Don't know what happened. Don't know why. I've never done it before. Never done it since. So I got back. Everyone was having a good chuckle. Well, there was worse mistakes than me, I can tell you. But anyway, they let me off that one little mistake, although it's quite a big mistake. And obviously, if I was in a guards regiment, that would have been a big no-no. I'd have probably been jailed if I'd have been in the guards unit. But they let me off it, and next day, Saturday morning, got our civilian clothes back on the Friday, I believe, and we got a little pass to take out. Saturday morning, had breakfast. Then everyone's like, we've got the day off, a bit of freedom after 6 weeks. Actually got a day off in our civvy clothes. So we're all banging our civvies on, and then we had to go down to the guard room, and you had to sign out the guard. You had to sign a book, name, rank, number, your platoon, your unit, whatever your sub-unit you was in. Sign the book, and then I think they checked you. The provost staff then checked that you were dressed smartly. You couldn't wear jeans back in my day in basic training. That was a devil's cloth. You couldn't wear jeans. Denim jeans were a no-no. So you had to have a pair of trousers on. So we had to produce our ID card to show that we'd got our ID with us in our wallet, and we also had to have some change on us so that we could make a phone call back to the camp. We had to have the phone number of the guard room or whatever, in case something went wrong and we needed assistance. So checked all that, checked you were dressed smart, and off you went. So let me take you through what I was wearing. Now you've got to bear with me, right? Don't rip me far too much. I'm being honest here. I'm telling you what I wore. 1976. So, starting at the bottom, I had a pair of brown leather shoes with a stacked heel. Little separate, different coloured pieces of wood stacked here. About that, I'm about 6 foot anyway. I got his heel on about another inch. Brown shit, and on the tip of the toe cap, just round the top where the sole is, there's a little brass plate. I mean, can you imagine that? Anyway, that was a thing at the time, I suppose. Trousers, well, they were lime green, big baggy sort of trousers. They weren't flared at the bottom. The whole things were flared all the way down. Big baggy lime green trousers with a thin silver pinstripe going through them. Lovely. And at the waistband, it had 3 buttons. I think it was like a waistband like that with 3 buttons at the top. And on the, I think it's on the right hand leg, on the thigh, a bit like a mat pocket in combats or lightweight army trousers, was a pocket, because you put your wallet in that. So going up to the bar to get a drink, it's sort of like walking like this, trying to get your wallet at the bottom of your pocket on your leg. So that was the trousers. And on top, I was wearing a red, and I mean bright red, bright red woolen jumper, long sleeve jumper with a round neck. And that was it. That was me. So down the guard room, going through all that rigmarole, Provo corporal or sergeant, whatever, he's like, come here, son. So I walked over to him. He's looking at me. He says, you ain't going out. You got no collar on. Get back up the block, get a shirt on, get something with a collar on. Polo shirt, whatever. So off I went. Now I knew I didn't have many clothes. I was on my arse, to be honest. I didn't have much at all. And I knew I didn't have anything with a collar on. So I legged it into the block. Lads are still getting ready. I went, someone lend me a shirt for crying, anything. I don't care what colour it is, just lend me a shirt. Nobody had anything. They'd got it on. If they had one, they were wearing it. So anyway, in the corridor, there was about 4 rooms on our block level, I think. In the corridor, one end, was a big, shiny steel dustbin. It used to be brassoed, that's how shiny it was. It was steel, silvery coloured steel, but we'd brassoed it. And in there was rags that had come from the clothing store, old kit that had been, cut up for rags to help you do your block cleaning jobs. And in there, I found a British Army number 2 dress shirt. Well, part thereof. It's like part of the shirt had been cut up for rags. Now it's like a browny sort of khaki colour number 2 dress shirt. It's pretty much the same shirt the lads get issued now. Now I didn't need the whole shirt, I just needed the collar. So back in my room, cut the collar off carefully along the seam, and then I tucked the collar inside the top of my jumper like that, pulled it all down. Back down the guard room I went, giving it a bit of that detail. Look at me, I'm good to go now. Gets up the provost sergeant, he goes, yeah, go on then son, off you go. And as I was about to walk, he went, hang on a minute, come back here. So I walked back, and he grabbed hold of the collar and went, when's the last time you washed this? And it come off in his hand. He come out with jumper, he's holding it. He goes, what's this son? What's it? He went right into one. He went ballistic, he went redder than my jumper. Well, obviously that was it. This call sign didn't get to go out. I did have managed to, later on, find someone that did have a shirt, and I borrowed that shirt, and when I went out I went and bought myself a shirt, so I didn't have any problems in the future. But relaying all that to Mike the other night when we sat on a sandbag swinging a lantern, and Mike does remember as well going through the passing off the parade. I think he said they'd done it in 3s, but I know I distinctly remember in my basic training each recruit marched out singly on their own. So please, any of you veterans out there, or serving soldiers, or airmen, or Royal Navy lads, if you went through something similar during your basic, did you have to do something before they let you out for the first time? And what was it, and how did it go? I'd be very interested to hear. Right, I can't stand around all day. Mike's off in Skeg Vegas, seeing one of his mates. I've got to tab back to peacetime location. So, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and it's doing really well now, it's growing quite well. I'm getting towards 10,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. Less than a year, and I'm nearly at 10,000. And I think that'll be it then for me. I think I'll get to 10,000, and I probably won't get any further. And I'll try and keep the channel going. But please, if you're new to the channel, or you've watched before and you haven't subscribed, please consider it. I'm not saying do it. I'm saying consider it. But till next time, troops, stay safe and remember, let's tab.